Hey, how's it going, guys? So since the last time, I have made a crusher and I've already done some ore processing with it. I'm currently processing redstone. I also made a steam boiler for Invar, or made out of Invar rather. I also made the burning box for it, just to add a little bit more steam to this engine, because just doing it with a bronze boiler doesn't produce enough steam to actually start the crushing process, and that's because of certain losses and certain thresholds that you have to meet with the crusher. I believe this has to meet a minimum of 16 Greg units, which in this case would be kinetic units, and to reach 16 kinetic units with a steam engine made out of bronze, you have to produce, I think it's like 48 steam, or it needs a little more than 48 steam, and it's like 50 something. And I don't think the boiler made out of bronze produces that. Yeah, no, it doesn't actually produce that. So 48 steam going into that steam engine would only produce 12 kinetic units, as you can see here in that conversion. So the energy in, if you just doubled the left side value, so 24 into 48 would be 12 kinetic units. So you need a little bit more than that. So that's why I added the bronze, or the Invar one rather. Also because this one's more efficient, so it's a bit of a dual benefit there. So it's slowly working through this. I think it should still be active. Oh yeah, it is. It's just very slow with this. So yeah, this is a little bit better than processing things on the anvil. So if you see, if you just did it with the anvil, you'd put one raw redstone and you get one crush and 6 tiny crush, which is like 6/9. Whereas if you do it with the crusher, you will get, oh wow, yeah, I mean on redstone you get significantly more, it seems, yeah. So yeah, you get way more. That's like 8 times, I think, versus just, I guess, less than double. And you also get a chance for Cinnabar, a 30% chance, which is really nice. Most ores, it'll just be like a ×2 type of thing. So if I did this one, for example, you'll see it's like 1 and 6/9 versus just straight 2, which is definitely an upgrade still. So yeah, definitely I would recommend doing the crusher probably first out of anything. I think it might need diamond dust, so you might have to find a diamond vein. Oh no, it actually requires raw diamonds. So yeah, I had already found a diamond vein, and I used my anvil, and I used my sifter here that I made to sift out some diamonds for that. I got a little bit more, just because I had some like excess diamonds, so I actually have 4 raw diamonds left over. Originally I was going to use those to make long fall boots, but I realized I need them to start my red power pipes. There's some pipes, like the request pipe, require diamonds. I think also the what is it, junction? Yeah, junction pipes require diamonds, which is a bit annoying, but you know, there's plenty of diamonds in that vein. And also you can see on the bottom here, I also processed most of my raw ores. I'm not going to do like oil shale for now, because it's kind of just, it's going to take too long and it's not really that important to me. I'm just going to process the rest of my redstone, and then I'm also going to process my copper. That way I can work with bronze a little bit easier. And yeah, I mean, because bronze is a really nice material to work with. Even steel is also really nice, but a lot of steel things are technically outside of the I guess tier that you would consider me in. So like if I looked at a steel steam turbine, for example, it's actually not in the same tier as like a steam boiler made out of steel. So this steam turbine, for example, it can take the minimum of 96 steam in, and if you look at the boiler made out of steel, it only produces 64 steam. So that's one of those examples of certain materials or certain machines made out of a material not matching exactly you know, other components made out of that same material. Sometimes it's the case, sometimes it's not. You really need to just kind of pay attention to like what the tooltip says. But yeah, bronze is one of those things that you can confidently usually match up. But even in this case, you know, you don't get enough from just doing it with up one bronze thing. You need to add in something else. So I could have used 2 bronze ones here. I don't think that would have been a problem. Where's that steam engine? So it takes 96 max. What does this take? 48. So yeah, that would have actually been perfect, I think, but I would be kind of cautious about doubling up on that and hitting that maximum threshold, because if you go any higher than that, the thing will explode. So yeah, running it in the red is a little risky unless you can like perfectly regulate it, and you can do that with steam pipes and stuff, or not steam pipes, but just any fluid pipe. You can sort of restrict it with sort of the same mechanics that I'm using here. But I would just recommend trying to hit like a slightly lower threshold if you can. And you can see this steam engine is sitting in the orange, which is fine. It doesn't mean it's not working. I mean, clearly it's working. It just means that you're not hitting like that, I guess, median threshold, just like the middle, basically. But if you go over it, you'll hit that orange and it still works just fine. Technically it's like overclocking it a little bit. So yeah, there's no downside to that. So yeah, you can see I have quite a few crushed ores here that I can work with, and I can run those through my cauldron to start washing them. But I'm not gonna wash them until I get a sluice. Like, I'm not gonna do all of them at the same time until I get a sluice. That way I can get the sluice juice, which is something that you'll get only from washing ores with a sluice. I think that's like the only benefit technically to doing it with the sluice. And the reason you want this is that you can either get sluice sand, or you'll get, or you can just centrifuge it and you'll get some like metals out of it. Specifically like chromium and antimony are really good to get out of it. You'll also get tin and copper, which is definitely nice. But yeah, chromium and antimony are the ones that you really want out of that. And then if you wanted to get the sluice sand instead, you could magnetic separator that. You'll get iron, neodymium, manganese, nickel, and cobalt, which are also quite nice, but I tend to just centrifuge it for the like chromium and antimony, because antimony is used for, I think, like soldering alloy, which is useful for circuits later down the line, and obviously chromium is just like a really nice material overall. You use it for engines and stuff like that. Just give me 1 second to take a look at something on the side here. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, the next thing I want to make, I think, is a buzzsaw. And the reason I want that is because to make some of these red power pipes, you actually need this silicon stuff. And if you go up the crafting tree a little bit, the way you can get these little like silicon wafers is through like these silicon boules, and you can either cut them with a saw, or I guess a red power saw you can get, or like forge micro blocks, or you can use a GregTech one, but you don't get as much. Or actually, this is crystalline silicon. Actually, I wonder if I can make that now. No, this is, yeah, no, this requires things I do not have access to. Crystallization crucible, yeah, I would have to get noble gases to do that. But yeah, if I go back up through that recipe. Oh, whoops. Yep. So this stuff, you can either cut it with like a saw and you'll get 8, or if you use a buzzsaw from GregTech, you'll get 16, which is much better. And you don't need to use anything special. You can use like any kind of, I guess, lubricant. So in this case, I would just probably use water or whatever. Or distilled water would also work. And you'll get 16, which is definitely much nicer because it requires just sand and coal, but I don't want to, I guess, have to go and process coal all the time. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. So that's what my next thing is. Plus, I'll also be able to use it for higher output on my planks and stuff and on my wood. So that'll be quite nice. So this takes 16 bronze, and it also requires rotation units, which is not something you can get from an engine. You have to use a turbine. So this will also be needed here. And that requires 40 units. So yeah, steam turbines are really quite expensive compared to the engines. The engine only costs 9.2, and this costs 40. So yeah, I think I can, there should be a gear mold I can make while I'm waiting for this. Here we go. Gear. I think I also need small gear. I don't know if I already made that or not. No, I made a ring mold here. So what I can do is put this here, and then I'll make another crucible crossing and some more molds. I think I should have enough. I already made the silicon bowl, so I just need to, yeah, make the buzzsaw. There we go. That should be fine. So I'll make 2 more molds, and then I will also make the crucible crossing. There we go. Put these into cook, and then I should also be able to make a wooden gear. Okay, yeah, that's how you make a small gear. So it's just a saw and the planks. I don't know if I made this one last time or not, but yeah, this is the advanced crafting table I made just so I can keep all my tools. So it has like the slots on the top, and it also has inner slots. These drawers are like both the same inventory. They just hold like extra tools. But also if you have tools up here that are like on their last durability, and then you have the exact same type of tool like in the drawers or even on the side, it'll preserve the one on its last durability, and it'll just start drawing durability from those other ones, and you know, you'll get all the benefits of whatever tool material or enchantments are on the other material. So for example, if I wanted to, for whatever reason, preserve this saw, it would end up pulling durability off of this one instead, and I'd, you know, get the full durability value out of that saw instead. So that's definitely quite nice, but I also just like being able to keep my tools in here because, you know, carrying them around and back and forth between crafting tables is no fun. Oh yeah, literally was looking at the saw the whole time. So there's that gear, and then I need a large wooden gear. Is there a way for me to... Okay, yeah. Sure, okay, yeah, I just need to saw sticks, basically. I wonder if I could do it out of willow. I certainly can. Okay. However, I don't know if I can do this way. Yeah, I think I need the same wood material. Well, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, the reason I have willow on me is because I started planting them outside. You can see on the map here, these like green circles are willow trees. And the reason I did that is because willow wood actually gives you more charcoal and more creosote oil. I think it's just straight up double. Versus like any other type of wood, and it's actually a page here in the NEI tooltips that Greg has written, so it's much nicer to use in a coke oven. So yeah, you can see 1 willow log will give you 2 charcoal and 500 liters of creosote, whereas like any other wood, or what is this? That's willow as well. Warped 200. Yeah, I think if you strip a log, you only get 200. But yeah, if you do a regular log, you'll get 250 and 1. So it's just straight up double. And willow trees are also really small and they give sticks, so there's a benefit to those as well. So I'm going to start using those just for creosote, and then I'll use like the big spruce for whatever other thing. And also I just realized I'm a complete moron and I just made like regular molds here. Okay, well I guess I can just chisel those out. That shouldn't be too much of an issue as long as I have a steady enough hand to do that chisel. Oh, where is it? Okay, I'm just gonna kind of wing it here. I'll leave one in the middle, and it's like this. Okay. It's sort of hard to see sometimes, like which part you're looking at, but I think this should be correct. Let's take a look. Small gear is perfect. Okay. Here's a crucible crossing, and I'll just put the other one on the end. I definitely need to like extend the wall out a little bit just so I can lay all my stuff. Or I can kind of use more crucible crossings to make this more like square, I guess, instead of a big rectangle. So this other gear is sort of the same. So it's going to be like just a big circle around. Yeah. Okay, so it's like that. And then it's like a star kind of in every direction. That looks fine. So then it's just the corners, I think. Let's see if that's correct. I definitely, yeah, there we go. Gears. So that wasn't the best way of doing things, but you know, it is what it is. At least it kind of demonstrates that you have multiple methods of doing the same thing. Give me another Let me see what I need as well for that. Oh, also I need to process my copper. So yeah, that shouldn't take too long. I was gonna process like everything off screen, but I also wanted to demonstrate sort of like the whole setup for this, just because it's, you know, interesting, I suppose, and worth showing for people that don't really understand this part, because they might assume that, you know, just a bronze boiler will be enough just to power a bronze crusher, which is not actually the case. So yeah, I'll just kind of let this stuff go. It'll take some time. But yeah, after that, I'll start working on the bronze. And fortunately, I already processed a bunch of tin and cassiterite, I believe. Yeah, so there's tin here, cassiterite here. Thought I had more than that, but maybe I don't. So yeah, that's what I'll use for my bronze. And I think I need like 40 plus 16 or something. Yeah, so 56 bronze will definitely be quite a bit. So yeah, just watch this until until it's done, I guess. I suppose I can go cut down trees in a second. Okay, so let me go cut trees. Okay. Yeah, these are the willow trees. They're really small compared to the big spruce trees. I don't think you can make them any bigger by, like, you know, planting 4, but they're also easy enough to just kind of plant everywhere. I mean, they're a little bit bulky, I suppose, with the amount of leaves they get, but you also get many excess saplings. You get the sticks, and then, oh shit, you get the willow wood. Goddamn creeper. Get out of here. Where's that? Okay. And yeah, one thing you could do, I guess, with all the excess sticks and saplings you get, is you could just kind of hook them up to a burning box, you know, like to your boiler or whatever. And you can use something called a Q hopper, I think. Is that what it's called? Yeah, so a Q hopper will essentially only put in the items, or it'll put in items in the order that you put them in the hopper. So it sort of has like it has its like internal inventory, and like in a regular hopper, I think it'll just put in like whatever's on the left or something like that. And it'll try to like stack things that are already inside of whatever inventory it's connected to. But the Q hopper sort of like will shift everything in its slots over, I think, to the rightmost slot. And even if whatever's in that inventory, like for example a burning box, if there's already like a sapling or something in that burning box, regardless of if that sapling is somewhere in the Q hopper, if it's not in that right hand slot, it will not go in to that burning box. Like, it'll wait until that sapling stack is gone from the burning box, and then it'll move. For example, if it's like planks in that rightmost slot, then it'll start putting planks in, and then if there's saplings after the planks, then it'll start putting saplings back in. So it's a good way to sort of like force certain things to go through. You can kind of just like adjust the contents of the Q hopper accordingly, or you can sort of like put all the, you know, fuels that you want to like rely on, for example, like charcoal, like big fuel values that you want only to be consumed after you've gone through everything else. You could put those in the back and then, you know, put everything else up front. So, oh, there's lots of items on the map that I seem to have missed. Let me clean this up. It's not like I'm really going to miss sticks or anything too much, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to pick them up. Might need them later. All right. Okay. And yeah, I guess one thing to be, I guess, aware of is that when you put sticks or saplings into the burning boxes, I don't remember if saplings create ash or anything, but I think sticks might create like a tiny 70-second pile of ash. It doesn't matter if you have like a ash collection system, but if you haven't set up at least like a hopper or something to pull ash out, then you need to be mindful of like how much material is being burned in the burning box, obviously, because it'll just turn itself off if you don't clean out everything. So that's something to be aware of. Oh, and another thing I did is I put a hopper underneath this coke oven so that I could just automatically pull charcoal out. Because it will clog itself if you don't clear the first slot of charcoal, which is kind of weird because it has 9 slots. I'm not exactly sure why it even has this many slots. But yeah, it's always clogged itself if it has like a full stack of charcoal in this first slot, and then it won't produce any more. I guess it maybe has a second slot so that it could like catch overflow, because I know the limit of its like internal inventory is technically 16 millibuckets, or 16 buckets worth of creosote, but it has more in here because I think I already had some from like doing regular wood, and then there's like a little bit of leftover space like until 16 buckets were in here when I was doing some like willow, so it consumed like 16 willow logs, and then this is the output of, I guess, whatever 16 willow logs I had in there. So it kind of, I guess it maybe just keeps some like extra space for overflow, but yeah, I don't imagine it would need more than 2 slots. I'm not really sure. It's just some weird Greg thing. I gotta love him. Alright, this should be relatively close to done. Jeez. Yeah, it's not going to be a super fast process in the beginning, but as you get higher tier like crushers and engines, you can definitely speed this up quite a bit. And this is also working through 4 at a time, I believe. Yeah, because it puts 4 in each slot. So that's sort of how a lot of GregTech machines will work, is like if it can batch process certain things, it'll try to do that for you. And it'll just kind of, you know, take the multiplication of how many materials it's processing at the same time. So, you know, overall it's still the same, but I guess it just allows you to buffer more items or whatever. As I was going to look at, or let me just see the crusher. I was just curious what tier of kinetic units this takes. I don't think it's going to matter too much if you like go over a little bit, but yeah, you still need to be within 16 to 64. So yeah, 64 kinetic units is quite high actually. I think even like a chromium one, oh yeah, that one will do it for sure. But that takes also a lot of steam. So you'd really need to have a proper boiler set up to hit that amount. Sorry, I'm just kind of moving my cat because he keeps trying to like sit right on my keyboard. That's why I keep going off to the side. I'm trying to get everybody settled here. Come on, bud. Alright. Sorry about that. Guys, I really need to start working on making some, like, better chests, I guess. And actually, something I discovered, and I felt really dumb about it, is that there's other kinds of chests in GregTech. So originally I thought there was only, like, metal chests in GregTech, so, like, steel chests, bronze chests, whatever. And I had always just kind of made those and used those as mine. I mean, they're not that expensive. It's just like 5 units of whatever. But I actually discovered that there's reinforced chests, which have the same internal capacity, but they cost half as much in terms of the materials that you put into them. And I think they can use all the exact same materials. So like, I would usually just do steel. And these cost like half as much steel, and they also require like way less of just everything. Like if I look at this, it's 2 rings, 4 rods, like just little rods, whereas the regular one costs plates, rods, and rings. So they were a bit of a pain because you needed like 3 different materials to go into them. So it's definitely nice to be able to not have to make so many different things, and you can kind of like batch craft a bunch of them because of how cheap they are. Put these in here. There we go. Get rid of this gunpowder. Just put it in here for now. Yeah, I kind of I just removed my crucible so that I could put this crusher here. So after the crusher's done, I'll put the crucible back. What I'm gonna have to do is sort of I guess like dedicate an area to just like steam stuff, and then I'll sort of wrench the pipes and make more steam machines, I guess. It's like one for each kind of like processing setup, and then I'll just kind of wrench the pipes so that steam can go where it needs to be at any given moment. And I guess eventually I'll have it, I'll use like covers or something, but that's not available to me just yet. I think that should be good. I don't think there's anything else being processed in here, so I can block off my boilers. There we go. All right. Let me, get rid of this. Okay, I'll just put this away for now because I don't need it at the moment. Actually, I have so much copper I can't even store all of it. That's pretty interesting. Just move these diamonds out and I'll put them over in this chest for now until I decide how I want to figure it out. Alright, let me sleep as well. Oh, now another cat has come to try to sit on top of me. Come on, kitty. What are you doing? Okay. She wants to like sleep directly on my keyboard. Alright. That's how it is sometimes. Here, sit down. Come on. Yeah, I'll probably have to cut it in a couple minutes just because I have other stuff. I'm recording this during the daytime, so I don't have as much free time between meetings and stuff to do what I want to do, but that's alright. I can put my crucible back. There we go. And then I'll use this to start making my buzzsaw. Fortunately, it only needs like diamond dust, which I already have. You get that naturally from sifting diamonds and stuff. Or you can also crush diamonds, I suppose. So I need a steel saw blade, which is just 4 steel plates. I may even already have that. I already do. Look at that. Very prepared. So yeah, let me see what that takes. Buzzsaw bronze. Let me just see. It's wire cutter, file, wrench, hammer. Perfect. Alright, where is my wire cutter? Here. And then I think I may have broke my file. Oops, file. Where's my wrench? Wrench and hammer. So that's that. Let me get a diamond dust. Perfect. And I will... Actually, I'll just not put that in yet. Because... Where is it? Yeah, I need to make robust machine casings. I also need 2 small gears. How is that such a even value of bronze? Oh, this... Wait, long bronze. These are only worth... Oh, these are worth 1, that's why. I thought these were worth like 0.25 for some reason. Okay, that's totally fine. Let me get my tin. I already have some ingots for it. Meteoric iron, chromite. Let's sort this. There we go. Where is my copper? Hello? Oh, hold on here. So yeah, I think I only need a couple. 16, so that means I need 12 copper. So maybe this will be enough. And I'll just smash it on here for now. And then put this in here. This in here. Oh yeah, I don't have any more. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Here then. And then put that away. And then I actually only need 3 or 24. Yeah, I do need 4. Okay. Actually, that'll be perfect. That'll get me exactly the amount that I need. So yeah, I'll do this and then probably cut it there. It's not going to be super interesting to, I guess, see that process. So, you know, I'll kind of just do it all off camera. And then I'll make more Steam stuff. I'm probably just going to do it out of Invar, to be honest, because I prefer the efficiency. And I'll also, even though it's not going to be like the exact amount of Steam, obviously it's not going to matter. I prefer having that efficiency and just having to make a couple more. That way I can I guess, get a little bit of an overclock going on some of those things as well. So yeah, there's no need to sort of follow the exact values on everything as long as you're within the threshold and you don't go over too much. So yeah, I think, what do I need for this? Is this robust? It is. That means I need double plates and I need rods. So 2 rods, 2 long rods, and then 2 small gears. And the small gears are this one. Okay, so 2 small gears, 2 long rods, and then everything else is plates, which is fine enough. Oh, I think I also, I don't remember if this was here last time, but I also added the glass to turn off this burning box. And I also added the lever, and I also did one down there as well, so that I could just kind of toggle them on and off without having to place a block every single time. All right, come on. All right, that's should be bronze. I'm just gonna get it a little hotter. That way I can pour it all. There we go. All right, 1, 2. These are coming out as bronze. Yep. 1, 2, and then the rest is plates. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. I'll let that last one cool off. Save myself a little durability. There's my small bronze gears and my long rod. And then that should be good. Oh yeah, I need to turn these into double plates. So I need my hammer, not a soft one, a real one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need to do this. Oh, shit. I accidentally auto sorted it back into the side there. It's alright. Put the wrench here. That's my robust machine casing, and then that goes there. This and this. Oh, and then my saw blade. And is it wrench? Yes, it is. There's my buzzsaw. Perfect. So this takes rotation units. So actually what I can do as well is I can take out the crucible once it's cooled off. Obviously, do not break it once it has heat in it. I made that mistake before. And what I'm just going to do is swap out the steam engine. And I think the turbine should still... Actually, no. It looks like the limits are... Oh, no, it's the same limits. Okay. Yeah, so I should still hit the amount that I need. I'm just trying to make sure. It's a little bit different. So 24 to 6, and this is 24 to 8. So actually, yeah, I won't... Technically, I think you could run this off of just one boiler, but I'm going to use both anyway because I have them. And, you know, I have so much charcoal, I might as well get my speed out. So yeah, I'll use this buzzsaw to cut up some of that silicon, and then I'll use that to start getting my storage system going. It's not really GregTech, so I'll kind of just do most of it off screen, but some of it I might record because I guess most people aren't familiar with the red power system. It's similar to the logistics pipes, but it's not. I don't think many people have ever used it. Most people don't even know logistics pipes, so yeah, I think maybe it'll be worth just showing a little bit of. So yeah, I'll record when I get to that point, but other than that, I'm just gonna maybe do a little bit of building. I'll extend some walls out. I think I'm gonna push this wall out as well and make it a steam area, and I'll push that wall out and move my coke oven and the storage for the coke oven. So a little bit of, I guess, building off screen. I don't particularly think it's worth showing, but yeah, maybe I will. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, I think I'll cut it there. So I will see you guys later.